Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Helena, and today we are going to walk over a full-length CAPM exam. So there are 150 questions on a CAPM exam. This is the entry-level exam for people who want to succeed in the project management field. After you clear out your CAPM, which you don't need any experience for in order to qualify, you can get your PMP once you have at least 3 years or more of experience. So today we're going to go over a full-length CAPM exam. After every single question, you'll have about 5 to 10 seconds to respond to the question. If you need a longer period of time than that, then I suggest you pause the video, look at the question, come up with the answer, and then check if you got the right answer. We'll also provide an explanation as well. If you do want to download all of these questions, the link is in the description. Also, if you're new here, I would really appreciate if you like and subscribe. Also, if you do have an upcoming CAPM exam, please know that it's really crucial that you do as many practice questions as possible. So please do all of the questions in this tutorial, because the only way that you can really truly prepare for your upcoming exams is to do as many practice questions as possible, because there is specific ways that PMI likes to test candidates, and really the only way to get used to this quote-unquote PMIism is to do as many practice questions as possible. So with that being said, let's dive into the full-length CAPM exam now.
Question 1. What is the primary purpose of the project charter? A, to outline the project budget. B, to formally authorize the project. C, to document the project scope. D, to assign project team members. Correct answer, B, to formally authorize the project. Explanation: the project charter is a document that formally authorizes a project, providing the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. Question 2. Which document defines how a project is executed, monitored, controlled, and closed? A project management plan. B, project charter. C, project scope statement. D, project status report. Correct answer, a project management plan. Explanation: the project management plan is a comprehensive document that defines how the project is executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. It integrates and consolidates all subsidiary plans and baselines. Question 3. In which process group is the project scope defined? A, initiating. B, planning. C, executing. D, monitoring and controlling. Correct answer, B, planning. Explanation: the project scope is defined in the planning process group, where detailed planning, including scope definition, takes place to outline the project boundaries. Question 4. What is a work breakdown structured WBS? A list of activities required to complete the project. B, a hierarchical decomposition of the total scope of work. C, a graphical representation of the project timeline. D, a chart showing the project organization. Correct answer, B, a hierarchical decomposition of the total scope of work. Explanation: the WBS is a hierarchical decomposition of the total scope of work to be carried out by the project team to accomplish the project objectives and create the required deliverables. Question 5. Which type of organizational structure features a blend of functional and projectized characteristics? A, functional. B, matrix. C, projectized. D, composite. Correct answer, B, matrix. Explanation: in a matrix organizational structure, team members report to both functional managers and project managers, blending characteristics of functional and projectized structures. Question 6. What is the main purpose of a stakeholder register? A, to document the interests of stakeholders. B, to record all identified stakeholders and their information. C, to describe the strategies for stakeholder engagement. D. To outline the communication plan for stakeholders. Correct answer, B. To record all identified stakeholders and their information. Explanation: the stakeholder register is a project document that includes the identification, assessment, and classification of a project's stakeholders. It contains information such as stakeholders' interest, involvement, and potential impact on project success. Question 7. Which process involves monitoring the status of the project and product scope and managing changes to the scope baseline? A. Plan scope management. B. Validate scope. C. Define scope. D. Control scope. Correct answer, D. Control scope. Explanation: the control scope process involves monitoring the status of the project and product scope and managing changes to the scope baseline, ensuring the project remains within its defined boundaries. Question 8. What is a risk register? A. Document outlining the project's approach to risk management. B. A log of all risks identified along with their responses and status. C. A report detailing the potential impacts of project risks. D. A chart that ranks the probability and impact of risks. Correct answer, B. A log of all risks identified along with their responses and status. Explanation: the risk register is a project document where all identified risks, along with their characteristics, responses, and status, are recorded and monitored throughout the project lifecycle. Question 9. In project management, what is the term for an uncertain event or condition that, if it occurs, has a positive or negative effect on project objectives? A. Issue. B. Constraint. C. Assumption. D. Risk. Correct answer, D. Risk. Explanation: a risk is an uncertain event or condition that, if it occurs, has a positive opportunity or negative threat effect on at least one project objective, such as scope, schedule, cost, or quality. Question 10. Which conflict resolution technique involves finding a temporary solution that satisfies all parties? A. Forcing. B. Withdrawal. C. Compromise. D. Collaboration. Correct answer, C. Compromise. Explanation: compromise involves finding a temporary solution that partially satisfies all parties involved. It's often used when a quick resolution is needed and the parties are equally powerful. Question 11. What is the process of obtaining team members, goods, and services to complete project work? A. Plan resource management. B. Acquire resources. C. Develop project team. D. Conduct procurements. Correct answer, B. Acquire resources. Explanation: the acquire resources process involves obtaining the team members, equipment, materials, and supplies needed to complete project work. Question 12. Which document describes the necessary information to determine whether a project is worth the required investment? A. Business case. B. Project charter. C. Project management plan. D. Scope statement. Correct answer, a business case. Explanation: the business case provides the necessary information to determine whether a project is worth the investment. It typically includes an analysis of the benefits, costs, risks, and opportunities associated with the project. Question 13. In which type of organizational structure do team members report to several bosses? A. Functional. B. Matrix. C. Projectized. D. Composite. Correct answer, B. Matrix. Explanation: in a matrix organizational structure, team members report to both functional and project managers resulting in multiple reporting lines. Question 14. Which tool or technique is used in the develop project team process to improve team interaction and increase team cohesiveness? A. Interpersonal and team skills. B. Training. C. Team building activities. D. Ground rules. Correct answer, C. Team building activities. Explanation: team building activities are used in the develop project team process to improve team interaction, enhance communication, and increase cohesiveness among team members. Question 15. What is the primary purpose of the validate scope process? To formalize acceptance of the completed project deliverables. B. To define the detailed project scope. C. To monitor the status of the project and product scope. D. To update the project scope baseline. Correct answer: to formalize acceptance of the completed project deliverables. Explanation: the validate scope process involves formalizing acceptance of the completed project deliverables, ensuring they meet the agreed upon requirements and are formally approved by stakeholders. Question 16. What type of dependency is established based on the relationship between project activities and external events or conditions? A. Mandatory dependency. B. Discretionary dependency. C. External dependency. D. Internal dependency. Correct answer, C. External dependency. Explanation: external dependencies involve a relationship between project activities and external events or conditions not within the team's control, such as regulatory approvals or supplier deliveries. Question 17. Which type of power is derived from a project manager's personal attributes, such as charisma, skills, and experience? A. Legitimate power. B. Referent power. C. Expert power. D. Coercive power. Correct answer, B. Referent power. Explanation: referent power is derived from the personal attributes and charisma of the project manager, which can influence and inspire team members. Question 18. What is the process of numerically analyzing the effect of identified risks on overall project objectives? A. Qualitative risk analysis. B. Quantitative risk analysis. C. Risk management planning. D. Risk response planning. Correct answer, B. Quantitative risk analysis. Explanation: quantitative risk analysis involves numerically analyzing the probability and impact of identified risks to assess their effect on project objectives and to determine the overall risk exposure. Question 19. Which process involves defining, preparing, and coordinating all subsidiary plans and integrating them into a comprehensive project management plan? A. Develop project management plan. B. Direct and manage project work. C. Monitor and control project work. D. Close project or phase. Correct answer, a develop project management plan. Explanation: the develop project management plan process involves defining, preparing, and coordinating all subsidiary plans and integrating them into a comprehensive project management plan that directs project execution and control. Question 20. What is the primary output of the identify stakeholders process? A. Stakeholder management plan. B. Stakeholder register. C. Communication management plan. D. Change log. Correct answer, B. Stakeholder register. Explanation: the primary output of the identify stakeholders process is the stakeholder register, which contains all identified stakeholders, their information, assessment data, and classification on how they may be engaged throughout the project. Question 21. What is the primary purpose of the Perform Integrated Change Control process? A. To approve or reject changes to the project charter. B. To manage changes to the project scope, schedule, and cost baselines. C. To ensure that all changes are recorded in the project management plan. D. To update the project's work breakdown structure. Correct answer: B. To manage changes to the project scope, schedule, and cost baselines. Explanation: the Perform Integrated Change Control process is crucial for reviewing all change requests, approving changes, and managing changes to the project deliverables, organizational process assets, project documents, and the project management plan, particularly focusing on scope, schedule, and cost baselines. Question 22. What is a histogram used for in project management? To show the relationship between two variables. B. To display the project schedule and milestones. C. To illustrate the frequency distribution of a set of data points. D. To represent the hierarchy of project tasks. Correct answer: C. To illustrate the frequency distribution of a set of data points. Explanation: in project management, a histogram is used to illustrate the frequency distribution of variables or data points, such as the number of occurrences of a defect within a specific period. Question 23. Which type of estimate provides a range that reflects the estimate's accuracy, such as 10% to plus 25%? A definitive estimate. B. Parametric estimate. C. 3-point estimate. D. Rough order of magnitude ROM estimate. Correct answer: D. Rough order of magnitude ROM estimate. Explanation: the rough order of magnitude ROM estimate provides a range such as 10% to plus 25%, indicating a broad estimate that reflects the current level of project detail or accuracy of the estimate. Question 24. In which process group are the project's objectives established and the feasibility of achieving them assessed? A. Initiating. B. Planning. C. Executing. D. Monitoring and controlling. Correct answer: A. Initiating. Explanation: in the initiating process group, the project's objectives are established, and the feasibility of achieving these objectives is assessed to ensure a clear understanding and alignment with stakeholders' needs and expectations. Question 25. What is the primary goal of quality assurance activities? A. To inspect the final product to ensure it meets quality standards. B. To identify quality problems after the product is developed. C. To integrate quality standards into the project design and development processes. D. To manage the quality of project communications. Correct answer: C. To integrate quality standards into the project design and development processes. Explanation: the primary goal of quality assurance is to integrate quality standards into the project processes, ensuring that the project will produce outputs that meet the necessary quality requirements. Question 26. What is the primary function of a decision tree in project management? A. To schedule project tasks. B. To allocate project resources. C. To analyze the consequences of decisions along with their associated risks and rewards. D. To track project costs. Correct answer: C. To analyze the consequences of decisions along with their associated risks and rewards. Explanation: a decision tree is used in project management to analyze the potential outcomes of different decisions, allowing for a visual representation of the consequences, risks, and rewards associated with each decision path. Question 27. Which conflict resolution technique involves collaborating with the conflicting parties to meet their interests and find a win-win solution? A. Smoothing. B. Forcing. C. Compromising. D. Collaborating. Correct answer, D. Collaborating. Explanation. The collaborating technique aims to work with the conflicting parties to understand their interests and needs fully, finding a solution that satisfies everyone involved, often resulting in a win-win situation. Question 28. What does the critical path method CPM help a project manager determine? A. The shortest path to complete the project. B. The most cost-effective path to complete the project. C. The least risky path to complete the project. D. The path with the most resources required to complete the project. Correct answer, the shortest path to complete the project. Explanation. The critical path method CPM is used to identify the longest sequence of dependent tasks in a project and determine the shortest possible duration to complete the project. Question 29. What is the primary purpose of creating a project scope statement? To document the project objectives, deliverables, and work required. B. To outline the project's budget and resource requirements. C. To establish the project's communication plan. D. To define the project's quality metrics. Correct answer. To document the project objectives, deliverables, and work required. Explanation. The project scope statement is essential for documenting the project's objectives, deliverables, and the detailed work required to create those deliverables, providing a basis for future project decisions and scope control. Question 30. What is the primary purpose of the monitor and control project work process? To track, review, and regulate the progress and performance of the project. B. To initiate the project and define its objectives. C. To develop the project team and assign tasks. D. To close the project and confirm that all work is completed satisfactorily. Correct answer, to track, review, and regulate the progress and performance of the project. Explanation. The monitor and control project work process is essential for tracking the project's progress, reviewing its performance against the plan, and making necessary adjustments to keep the project on track toward its objectives. Question 31. What is the primary purpose of the plan communications management process? To ensure timely and appropriate collection of project information. B. To develop an appropriate approach for project communications. C. To distribute project information in accordance with the plan. D. To update stakeholders on project progress. Correct answer, B. To develop an appropriate approach for project communications. Explanation. The plan communications management process aims to develop an appropriate plan for project communications, determining the information and communications needs of the stakeholders. Question 32. Which tool or technique is commonly used in the collect requirements process to generate as many ideas as possible in a short period? A. Brainstorming. B. Focus groups. C. Surveys. D. Benchmarking. Correct answer, a brainstorming. Explanation. Brainstorming is a tool used in the collect requirements process to facilitate the generation of a broad range of ideas and requirements from stakeholders and team members quickly. Question 33. In project management, what is a lag? The amount of time a successor activity can be advanced with respect to a predecessor activity. B. The amount of time a successor activity will be delayed with respect to a predecessor activity. C. The maximum amount of time an activity can be delayed without delaying the project. D. The total duration that does not account for any resource limitations. Correct answer. B. The amount of time a successor activity will be delayed with respect to a predecessor activity. Explanation. In project scheduling, a lag is a delay in the successor activity's start or finish date relative to the predecessor's start or finish date. Question 34. What does the perform qualitative risk analysis process primarily focus on? A numerically analyzing the probability and impact of risks. B. Prioritizing risks based on their probability and impact of occurrence. C. Implementing responses to all identified risks. E. Monitoring and controlling risks throughout the project. Correct answer. B. Prioritizing risks based on their probability and impact of occurrence. Explanation. Perform qualitative risk analysis involves assessing and prioritizing risks based on their likelihood of occurrence and potential impact on project objectives to determine which risks need further analysis or action. Question 35. Which type of diagram is specifically used to identify cause and effect relationships? A Pareto chart. B. Flowchart. C. Ishikawa fishbone diagram. D. Gantt chart. Correct answer. C. Ishikawa fishbone diagram. Explanation. The Ishikawa or fishbone diagram is used to identify and visualize the various causes contributing to a specific effect or problem, helping to analyze cause and effect relationships. Question 36. What is the main objective of the Develop Project Charter process? A. To outline the project objectives and deliverables. B. To formally authorize the project and grant the project manager authority. C. To define the project scope in detail. D. To establish the project team and assign resources. Correct answer. B. To formally authorize the project and grant the project manager authority. Explanation. The primary objective of the Develop Project Charter process is to formally authorize the project, establishing a clear external directive to begin the project and granting the project manager the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. Question 37. What is the main focus of the control cost process? A. Developing an approximation of the cost of the resources needed. B. Determining the budget and managing changes to the cost baseline. C. Monitoring project performance to manage changes to the cost baseline. D. Allocating overall cost estimates to individual work packages. Correct answer. C. Monitoring project performance to manage changes to the cost baseline. Explanation. The control costs process focuses on monitoring the status of the project to update the project budget and managing changes to the cost baseline to ensure that actual costs do not exceed the budgeted costs. Question 38. What is the primary benefit of the planned stakeholder engagement process? To monitor overall project stakeholder relationships. B. To develop strategies to effectively engage stakeholders. C. To communicate project progress and updates to stakeholders. D. To identify all people or organizations impacted by the project. Correct answer. B. To develop strategies to effectively engage stakeholders. Explanation. The main benefit of the planned stakeholder engagement process is to develop appropriate strategies and plans for engaging stakeholders based on their needs, interests, and potential impact on project success. Question 39. In the context of project management, what is a constraint? An uncertain event that can impact project objectives. B. A sequence of activities that determines the project duration. C. A factor that limits the project team's options or influences the project outcome. D. The total amount of time and cost required to complete a project. Correct answer. C. A factor that limits the project team's options or influences the project outcome. Explanation. A constraint in project management is a limiting factor that affects how a project can be planned and executed, such as time, budget, scope, and resources, limiting the team's options or influencing project outcomes. Question 40. What is the primary purpose of the close project or phase process? To officially start a project or phase. B. To track and monitor project progress. C. To formally complete and close a project or phase. D. To develop a detailed project scope statement. Correct answer. C. To formally complete and close a project or phase. Explanation. The primary purpose of the close project or phase process is to finalize all activities across all project management process groups to formally close the project or a project phase, ensuring that the project is completed and all deliverables are accepted. Question 41. Which process involves reviewing all change requests, approving changes, and managing changes to the deliverables, organizational process assets, project documents, and the project management plan? A. Direct and manage project work. B. Monitor and control project work. C. Perform integrated change control. D. Plan scope management. Correct answer. C. Perform integrated change control. Explanation. The Perform integrated change control process is responsible for reviewing all change requests, approving changes, and managing changes to the project deliverables, organizational process assets, project documents, and the project management plan. Question 42. What type of organizational structure gives the most authority to project managers? A. Functional. B. Matrix. C. Projectized. D. Balanced matrix. Correct answer. C. Projectized. Explanation. In a projectized organizational structure, the project manager has the most authority, with team members often reporting directly to the project manager, and the organization is structured around projects rather than functional hierarchies. Question 43. What is the main purpose of the control quality process? A. To ensure that the project includes all the work required. B. To monitor and record the results of executing the quality activities. C. To identify quality requirements and/or standards for the project and its deliverables. D. To implement the quality management plan. Correct answer. B. To monitor and record the results of executing the quality activities. Explanation. The control quality process is primarily focused on monitoring and recording the results of quality activities to assess performance and ensure that standards and operational definitions are met. Question 44. Which document describes detailed project scope, major deliverables, assumptions, and constraints? A. Project charter. B. Project management plan. C. Project scope statement. D. Work breakdown structure WBS. Correct answer. C. Project scope statement. Explanation. The project scope statement provides a detailed description of the project scope, major deliverables, and outlines the project's assumptions and constraints, serving as a reference for project decisions. Question 45. What is the primary goal of the develop team process? And to track team member performance. B. To improve competencies, team interaction, and overall team environment. C. To assign tasks to team members. D. To establish the project schedule. Correct answer. B. To improve competencies, team interaction, and overall team environment. Explanation. The developed team process aims to improve competencies, enhance team interaction, and create a positive team environment to enhance project performance. Question 46. Which technique is used in the define activities process to break down work packages into smaller, more manageable components? A. Decomposition. B. Rolling wave planning. C. Expert judgment. D. Bottom up estimating. Correct answer. A decomposition. Explanation. Decomposition is used in the define activities process to divide work packages into smaller components or activities that can be estimated, scheduled, and managed more effectively. Question 47. What is the primary purpose of the collect requirements process? To determine the budget needed for the project. B. To define and manage stakeholder expectations. C. To establish the project schedule. D. To allocate resources to project tasks. Correct answer. B. To define and manage stakeholder expectations. Explanation. The collect requirements process is essential for defining and documenting stakeholder needs and expectations to ensure the project delivers the agreed upon outcomes. Question 48. What is a Pareto chart used for in project management? To show the relationship between two variables. B. To identify the causes of defects in a process. C. To prioritize causes of defects, focusing on the most significant. D. To display the project's schedule and timelines. Correct answer. C. To prioritize causes of defects, focusing on the most significant. Explanation. A Pareto chart is a bar graph that prioritizes the causes of defects or problems in a process, focusing on the most significant issues to enable targeted improvement efforts. Question 49. In project management, what is fast tracking? A. Adding more resources to activities to compress the schedule. B. Reducing the project scope to accelerate completion. C. Performing activities in parallel that were originally planned to be done sequentially. D. Increasing the project budget to finish tasks quicker. Correct answer. C. Performing activities in parallel that were originally planned to be done sequentially. Explanation. Fast tracking is a schedule compression technique where activities or phases that are normally done in sequence are performed in parallel to shorten the project duration. Question 50. Which document defines the project, including its objectives, and provides the basis upon which the project is founded? A. Project scope statement. B. Project charter. C. Business case. D. Project management plan. Correct answer. B. Project charter. Explanation. The project charter formally authorizes the project, outlining its objectives and providing a foundation for its planning and execution. It grants the project manager the authority to allocate organizational resources to project activities. Question 51. What is the purpose of the Identify Risks process? To determine how to approach, plan, and execute risk management activities. B. To prioritize risks based on their impact and probability of occurrence. C. To monitor the implementation of agreed upon risk response plans. D. To identify individual project risks and sources of overall project risk. Correct answer. D. To identify individual project risks and sources of overall project risk. Explanation. The Identify Risks process aims to identify individual project risks as well as sources of overall project risk, providing the basis for further risk analysis and response planning. Question 52. Which term describes a graphic display of project team members and their reporting relationships? A resource breakdown structure. E. Organizational breakdown structure. C. Project organization chart. P. Work breakdown structure. Correct answer, C. Project organization chart. Explanation: a project organization chart is a graphic display that shows project team members and their reporting relationships, illustrating how the project is organized and who is responsible for different components. Question 53. What is the primary focus of the monitor and control risks process? A. To identify new risks and reassess existing risks. B. To implement risk response plans and track identified risks. C. To evaluate the effectiveness of risk responses in dealing with risks. D. To communicate risks to stakeholders and project team members. Correct answer, B. To implement risk response plans and track identified risks. Explanation: the monitor and control risks process focuses on implementing risk response plans, tracking identified risks, monitoring residual risks, and evaluating risk process effectiveness throughout the project. Question 54. Which process involves estimating the type and quantities of material, human resources, equipment, or supplies required to perform each activity? A. Estimate costs. B. Determine budget. C. Estimate activity resources. D. Plan resource management. Correct answer, C. Estimate activity resources. Explanation: estimate activity resources involves estimating the type and quantities of resources required to perform each activity, which is crucial for planning and executing the project. Question 55. What is the process of defining, preparing, and coordinating all plan components and consolidating them into an integrated project management plan? A. Develop project management plan. B. Develop project charter. C. Direct and manage project work. D. Monitor and control project work. Correct answer, a develop project management plan. Explanation: the develop project management plan process involves defining, preparing, and coordinating all plan components and consolidating them into an integrated project management plan that will guide project execution and control. Question 56. In project management, what is the primary purpose of a kick-off meeting? A. To recognize and celebrate the project's achievements. B. To formally close the project or a project phase. C. To mark the official start of the project or a project phase. D. To perform a detailed risk analysis with the project team. Correct answer, C. To mark the official start of the project or a project phase. Explanation: the kick-off meeting marks the official start of the project or a project phase where the project team, sponsor, and other key stakeholders come together to establish a common understanding and commitment to the project objectives. Question 57. Which technique is used in the developed schedule process to shorten the schedule duration without reducing the project scope? A. Crashing. B. Fast tracking. C. Lead and lag adjustment. D. Resource leveling. Correct answer, a crashing. Explanation: crashing is a technique used to shorten the schedule duration without reducing the project scope by adding additional resources to critical path activities. Question 58. What is the main benefit of using a RASI chart in project management? To define team members' roles and responsibilities in relation to project tasks. B. To illustrate the project's schedule and milestones. C. To display the project's budget and cost allocations. D. To identify and track project risks. Correct answer. To define team members' roles and responsibilities in relation to project tasks. Explanation. A RASI chart responsible, accountable, consulted, informed helps clarify team members' roles and responsibilities in relation to various project tasks, ensuring clear communication and accountability. Question 59. Which conflict resolution technique involves retreating or withdrawing from an actual or potential conflict situation? A. Smoothing. B. Compromising. C. Avoiding. D. Collaborating. Correct answer. C. Avoiding. Explanation. The avoiding technique involves retreating or withdrawing from an actual or potential conflict situation, which can be appropriate when the issue is trivial or when more important issues are pressing. Question 60. In which document would you find detailed information about the project's approach to engage and communicate with stakeholders? A stakeholder management plan. B. Communications management plan. C. Stakeholder register. D. Project management plan. Correct answer. B. Communications management plan. Explanation. The communications management plan details the project's approach to engage and communicate with stakeholders, outlining how information will be distributed, the frequency of communications, and the methods used. Question 61. Which tool or technique is essential for the develop schedule process and involves sequencing activities to account for dependencies? A precedence diagramming method PDM. B. Critical path method CPM. C. Gantt charts. D. Resource leveling. Correct answer. A precedence diagramming method PDM. Explanation. The precedence diagramming method PDM is a tool used in the develop schedule process that involves sequencing activities with consideration to their dependencies, helping to establish the logical order of work to be completed. Question 62. What is the primary goal of the project cost management knowledge area? A. To ensure that the project is completed within the approved budget. B. To manage the project schedule to avoid cost overruns. C. To ensure the quality of the project deliverables. D. To manage the communication with stakeholders regarding project costs. Correct answer. To ensure that the project is completed within the approved budget. Explanation. The primary goal of project cost management is to plan, manage, and control project costs to ensure that the project is completed within the approved budget. Question 63. In project management, what is scope creep? A. The uncontrolled expansion to product or project scope without adjustments to time, cost, and resources. B. The process of completing the project scope efficiently. C. A decrease in the project scope due to external constraints. D. The process of obtaining formal acceptance of the completed project scope. Correct answer. The uncontrolled expansion to product or project scope without adjustments to time, cost, and resources. Explanation. Scope creep refers to the uncontrolled expansion to product or project scope without corresponding adjustments to time, cost, and resources, often leading to project overruns. Question 64. What does the term resource smoothing refer to in project management? A. Adjusting the schedule to ensure that resource utilization is kept at a constant level. B. Reducing the resources assigned to a project to decrease costs. C. Increasing resources to accelerate the project completion. D. Distributing resources evenly across all project activities. Correct answer. But adjusting the schedule to ensure that resource utilization is kept at a constant level. Explanation. Resource smoothing is a technique used to adjust the project schedule to ensure that resource utilization is kept at consistent levels, often without impacting the critical path. Question 65. Which process determines the policies, procedures, and documentation that will be used for planning, executing, and controlling the project schedule? A. Plan schedule management. B. Develop schedule. C. Control schedule. D. Define activities. Correct answer: a plan schedule management. Explanation: plan schedule management is the process that establishes the policies, procedures, and documentation for planning, executing, and controlling the project schedule. Question 66. What is a burn down chart used for in Agile project management? To show the amount of work completed in an iteration. B. To display the total project budget versus actual spending. C. To illustrate the remaining work in a sprint or project. D. To track the number of changes to the project scope. Correct answer: C. To illustrate the remaining work in a sprint or project. Explanation: in Agile project management, a burn down chart is used to illustrate the remaining work in a sprint or project, helping teams understand how much work is left versus the time available. Question 67. Which type of diagram helps in identifying the root causes of a problem by showing the relationship between effects and their underlying causes? A. Flowchart. B. Pareto chart. C. Fishbone Ishikawa diagram. D. Histogram. Correct answer: C. Fishbone Ishikawa diagram. Explanation: the Fishbone Ishikawa diagram, also known as a cause and effect diagram, helps in identifying the root causes of a problem by categorizing potential causes and showing their relationship to the overall effect. Question 68. What is the primary focus of the control stakeholder engagement process? A. Identifying new stakeholders throughout the project lifecycle. B. Developing strategies to engage stakeholders effectively. C. Monitoring overall project stakeholder relationships and adjusting strategies as needed. D. Communicating project information to stakeholders. Correct answer: C. Monitoring overall project stakeholder relationships and adjusting strategies as needed. Explanation: the control stakeholder engagement process focuses on monitoring and controlling stakeholder relationships, ensuring that stakeholder engagement strategies are effective and adjusted as needed throughout the project. Question 69. Which process involves tracking team member performance, providing feedback, resolving issues, and managing changes to optimize project performance? A. Manage team. B. Develop team. C. Acquire resources. D. Plan resource management. Correct answer: a managed team. Explanation: the managed team process involves tracking team member performance, providing feedback, resolving issues, and implementing changes to optimize project performance and enhance team dynamics. Question 70. What is the main objective of the planned procurement management process? A. To conduct negotiations with suppliers and vendors. B. To identify which project needs can be best met by procuring products or services outside the project organization. C. To obtain seller responses, select a seller, and award a contract. D. To manage relationships with vendors and suppliers. Correct answer: B. To identify which project needs can be best met by procuring products or services outside the project organization. Explanation: the planned procurement management process aims to identify project needs that can be addressed through procurement, determining what to procure, how, and when. Question 71. What is the main purpose of the plan risk management process? To identify individual project risks and document their characteristics. B. To define how to conduct risk management activities for a project. C. To determine the probability and impact of identified risks. D. To implement risk response strategies to address identified risks. Correct answer: B. To define how to conduct risk management activities for a project. Explanation: the plan risk management process aims to define how to conduct risk management activities for a project, including methodology, roles and responsibilities, budgeting, timing, risk categories, definitions of risk probability and impact, and stakeholder tolerability. Question 72. Which document includes detailed information on how project scope will be defined, developed, monitored, controlled, and verified? A project charter. B. Scope management plan. C. Project scope statement. D. Project management plan. Correct answer: B. Scope management plan. Explanation: the scope management plan is a component of the project management plan that describes how the project scope will be defined, developed, monitored, controlled, and verified, ensuring that all necessary work and only the necessary work is included in the project. Question 73. In project management, what is the primary purpose of a change control board CCB? To develop the project charter and define the project scope. B. To oversee the changes to the project costs and budget. C. To review, evaluate, approve, reject, or defer changes to the project. D. To allocate resources and assign tasks to team members. Correct answer: C. To review, evaluate, approve, reject, or defer changes to the project. Explanation: the Change Control Board CCB is a group of stakeholders responsible for reviewing, evaluating, approving, rejecting, or deferring changes to the project, ensuring that all changes are controlled and managed effectively. Question 74. What is the primary benefit of using the Monte Carlo simulation technique in risk management? A. To provide a definitive answer to project questions. B. To prioritize risks based on their impact and probability. C. To quantify the potential impacts of risks on project objectives. D. To identify new risks within the project. Correct answer: C. To quantify the potential impacts of risks on project objectives. Explanation: the Monte Carlo simulation is used in risk management to quantify the potential impacts of risks on project objectives by simulating the combined effects of individual risks and uncertainties. Question 75. What is the main purpose of the develop project team process? A. To assign project tasks to team members. B. To enhance team members' skills, knowledge, and abilities to improve project performance. C. To acquire the necessary human resources for the project. D. To define the roles and responsibilities of the project team. Correct answer: B. To enhance team members' skills, knowledge, and abilities to improve project performance. Explanation: the develop project team process focuses on enhancing team members' skills, knowledge, and abilities through training, team building activities, and other development methods to improve project performance and encourage teamwork. Question 76. Which type of analysis is commonly used in the plan quality management process to determine the causes of defects? A. Cost-benefit analysis. B. Root cause analysis. C. Trend analysis. D. Variance analysis. Correct answer: B. Root cause analysis. Explanation: Root cause analysis is a technique used in the plan quality management process to determine the underlying reasons for defects or problems, enabling the project team to address these issues at their source and improve quality. Question 77. What is the primary outcome of the sequence activities process? As a list of project milestones and deliverables. B. A network diagram showing the logical relationships among activities. C. A detailed project schedule. D. An estimation of resource requirements for activities. Correct answer. B. A network diagram showing the logical relationships among activities. Explanation. The primary outcome of the sequence activities process is a network diagram that depicts the logical relationships among project activities, helping to plan and execute the project work efficiently. Question 78. What is the primary purpose of the closed procurements process? A. To ensure that all work and deliverables are acceptable and complete. B. To finalize all activities related to project procurement. C. To develop a procurement management plan. D. To select vendors and award contracts. Correct answer. B. To finalize all activities related to project procurement. Explanation. The close procurements process involves finalizing all activities related to project procurement, ensuring that the terms of the contract have been met and that the procurement relationships are concluded appropriately. Question 79. Which type of power is derived from the project manager's position within the organization? A. Referent power. B. Expert power. C. Legitimate power. D. Coercive power. Correct answer. C. Legitimate power. Explanation. Legitimate power is derived from the project manager's position within the organization, giving them the authority to make decisions and direct team members based on their role and responsibilities. Question 80. What is the primary focus of the monitor communications process? A. Developing the communications management plan. B. Ensuring optimal information flow among all communication participants. C. Distributing information according to the communications management plan. D. Updating the project management plan and project documents. Correct answer. B. Ensuring optimal information flow among all communication participants. Explanation. The monitor communications process focuses on ensuring that the information flow among all communication participants is optimal, adjusting strategies and plans as necessary to enhance project communication. Question 81. Which process involves establishing the policies, procedures, and documentation for planning, developing, managing, executing, and controlling the project schedule? A. Develop schedule. B. Plan schedule management. C. Control schedule. D. Define activities. Correct answer. B. Plan schedule management. Explanation. Plan schedule management is the process that establishes the policies, procedures, and documentation for how the project schedule will be planned, developed, managed, executed, and controlled. Question 82. What is the main objective of the validate scope process? A. To formalize the acceptance of completed project deliverables. B. To define the project and product scope. C. To monitor the status of the project and product scope. D. To create a detailed project scope statement. Correct answer. To formalize the acceptance of completed project deliverables. Explanation. The primary objective of the validate scope process is to formalize the acceptance of the completed project deliverables from the client or sponsor, ensuring that deliverables meet the agreed upon requirements. Question 83. What is the primary output of the identify stakeholders process? A stakeholder engagement plan. B. Project management plan. C. Stakeholder register. D. Communications management plan. Correct answer. C. Stakeholder register. Explanation. The primary output of the Identify Stakeholders process is the stakeholder register, which lists all identified stakeholders and contains various information about their interests, involvement, and potential impact on the project. Question 84. In which process is the work breakdown structure WBS created? A. Create WBS. B. Define scope. C. Plan scope management. D. Define activities. Correct answer. A Create WBS. Explanation. The Create WBS process involves breaking down the project deliverables and work into smaller, more manageable components, resulting in the Work Breakdown Structure WBS, which is a hierarchical decomposition of the work to be executed by the project team. Question 85. What is the purpose of the planned cost management process? A. To estimate the costs associated with completing project work. B. To allocate the overall cost estimates to individual work packages. C. To establish policies, procedures, and documentation for planning, managing, expending, and controlling project costs. D. To monitor the status of the project to update the project budget. Correct answer. C. To establish policies, procedures, and documentation for planning, managing, expending, and controlling project costs. Explanation. Plan cost management establishes the framework and processes for how costs will be planned, structured, and controlled, setting the foundation for effective project cost management. Question 86. What does the term analogous estimating refer to? Using a detailed work breakdown and individual estimates for each work package. B. Using the actual costs from previous similar projects as the basis for estimating the current project. C. Estimating the duration or cost of activities using statistical relationships. D. Dividing the project into smaller parts and estimating the cost of each part. Correct answer. B. Using the actual costs from previous similar projects as the basis for estimating the current project. Explanation. Analogous estimating involves using data from past projects that are similar to the current project as a basis for estimating, relying on historical data to predict future costs or durations. Question 87. What is a resource histogram used for in project management? To display the types and quantities of resources required for project activities over time. B. To show the relationship between activities and the project timeline. C. To illustrate the dependencies between different project resources. D. To represent the allocation of budget across project activities. Correct answer. To display the types and quantities of resources required for project activities over time. Explanation. A resource histogram is a graphical representation that shows the types and quantities of specific resources required for project activities over time, helping in the visualization of resource utilization and planning. Question 88. Which type of analysis is used to assess the desired needs and wants of stakeholders in the collect requirements process? A cost-benefit analysis. B. Requirements analysis. C. Stakeholder analysis. D. SWOT analysis. Correct answer. B. Requirements analysis. Explanation. Requirements analysis is a technique used in the collect requirements process to assess, categorize, and document the needs and wants of stakeholders, ensuring that the project will meet their expectations and requirements. Question 89. Which term describes the methodology that combines scope, schedule, and resource measurements to assess project performance and progress? A critical path method CPM. B. Earned value management EVA. C. Resource leveling. D. Schedule network analysis. Correct answer. B. Earned value management EVM. Explanation. Earned value management EVM is a methodology that integrates scope, schedule, and resource measurements to provide a comprehensive view of project performance and progress, allowing for better insight and control over the project's trajectory. Question 90. What is the main goal of the direct and manage project work process? A. To identify project risks and develop response strategies. B. To track project progress and performance against the project management plan. C. To lead and perform the work defined in the project management plan. D. To develop the project team and assign resources. Correct answer. C. To lead and perform the work defined in the project management plan. Explanation. The primary goal of the direct and manage project work process is to lead and carry out the work defined in the project management plan, executing the planned project activities to achieve the project objectives. Question 91. Which document provides a detailed description of the project's product, service, or result? The project charter. B. Project scope statement. C. Business case. D. Project management plan. Correct answer. B. Project scope statement. Explanation. The project scope statement provides a detailed description of the project's product, service, or result, including its characteristics and boundaries, and is a key document for understanding what the project will deliver. Question 92. What is the main output of the develop schedule process? A. Activity list. B. Project schedule. C. Project calendar. D. Schedule baseline. Correct answer. B. Project schedule. Explanation. The main output of the develop schedule process is the project schedule, which outlines the planned start and finish dates for project activities and is crucial for guiding project execution and monitoring. Question 93. In project management, what does the term stakeholder engagement refer to? A. Identifying who the project stakeholders are. B. Understanding the stakeholders' communication needs. C. Involving stakeholders appropriately in project decisions and activities. D. Updating stakeholders on the project's progress. Correct answer. C. Involving stakeholders appropriately in project decisions and activities. Explanation. Stakeholder engagement refers to involving stakeholders in the appropriate manner in project decisions and activities, ensuring their needs and expectations are considered and they are kept informed and engaged throughout the project lifecycle. Question 94. Which process involves determining which risks may affect the project and documenting their characteristics? A. Plan risk management. B. Identify risks. C. Perform qualitative risk analysis. D. Monitor risks. Correct answer. B. Identify risks. Explanation. The Identify Risks process is focused on determining which risks could impact the project and documenting their characteristics, which is crucial for subsequent risk analysis and response planning. Question 95. What is the primary focus of the Acquire Resources process? A. Developing the project team's skills. B. Identifying the physical resources needed for the project. C. Obtaining the team members and physical resources necessary to complete project work. D. Allocating the budget for resources. Correct answer. C. Obtaining the team members and physical resources necessary to complete project work. Explanation: the acquire resources process is focused on obtaining the team members and physical resources necessary to complete the project work, ensuring that the project has the required resources when they are needed. Question 96. Which type of estimating is based on the statistical relationship between historical data and other variables? A. Analogous estimating. B. Parametric estimating. C. Bottom-up estimating. D. Three-point estimating. Correct answer: B. Parametric estimating. Explanation: parametric estimating is based on the statistical relationship between historical data and other variables, allowing for more accurate and scalable estimates based on the quantifiable characteristics of the project. Question 97. What is the main purpose of the control scope process? A. To define the project and product scope. B. To manage changes to the project scope. C. To ensure the project includes all the required work and only the required work. D. To review the project scope baseline. Correct answer: B. To manage changes to the project scope. Explanation: the main purpose of the control scope process is to manage changes to the project scope, ensuring that any changes are beneficial, approved, and documented to prevent scope creep and ensure project success. Question 98. In which process would you create a detailed project schedule by identifying the duration of each task and their dependencies? A. Define activities. B. Sequence activities. C. Develop schedule. D. Control schedule. Correct answer: C. Develop schedule. Explanation: in the develop schedule process, you create a detailed project schedule by determining the durations of each task, understanding their dependencies, and arranging them in a way that reflects how the project will be executed. Question 99. What is the primary goal of cost management in a project? A. To ensure that the project is completed as quickly as possible. B. To manage the project's quality. C. To complete the project within the approved budget. D. To ensure effective communication within the project. Correct answer: C. To complete the project within the approved budget. Explanation: the primary goal of cost management in a project is to plan, estimate, budget, and control costs so that the project can be completed within the approved budget. Question 100. Which process involves communicating with stakeholders to meet their needs and addressing issues as they arise? A. Manage stakeholder engagement. B. Monitor communications. C. Monitor stakeholder engagement. D. Plan stakeholder engagement. Correct answer: a manage stakeholder engagement. Explanation: manage stakeholder engagement is the process of communicating with stakeholders to meet their needs, address issues as they arise, and foster appropriate stakeholder engagement in project decisions and activities. Question 101. What is the primary function of the Project Management Office PMO in relation to project management? A. To provide project managers for individual projects. B. To act as a stakeholder on all projects. C. To manage the change control board. D. To set project management standards and practices. Correct answer: D. To set project management standards and practices. Explanation: the primary function of the PMO is to standardize project management practices and serve as a center of excellence, helping to guide, manage, and improve the execution of project management practices across the organization. Question 102. Which document is used to provide a high-level overview of the project and acts as a reference of authority throughout the project's lifecycle? A project management plan. B. Project charter. C. Project scope statement. D. Business case. Correct answer B. Project charter. Explanation. The project charter is the document that provides a high level overview of the project and acts as a reference of authority, giving the project manager the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. Question 103. In project management, what is the main purpose of the monitor and control project work process? A. To integrate all individual project plans into a cohesive whole. B. To track, review, and regulate the progress and performance of the project. C. To ensure that project objectives are met by monitoring and measuring progress. D. To identify and initiate the necessary changes to the project management plan. Correct answer B. To track, review, and regulate the progress and performance of the project. Explanation. The monitor and control project work process is designed to track, review, and regulate the progress and performance of the project, identifying any areas in which changes to the plan are required. Question 104. Which conflict resolution technique involves finding a temporary solution that partially satisfies both parties? A. Smoothing. B. Forcing. C. Compromising. D. Confronting. Correct answer C. Compromising. Explanation. Compromising is a conflict resolution technique where each party gives up something to reach a mutually acceptable solution, often used when both sides have equally important goals. Question 105. Which technique is used during the sequence activities process to impose a logical order on all activities? A precedence diagramming method PDM. B. Dependency determination. C. Lead and lag. D. Critical path method CPM. Correct answer a precedence diagramming method PDM. Explanation. The precedence diagramming method PDM is a technique used in the sequence activities process to graphically represent the logical relationships among the project activities, thereby imposing a logical order on them. Question 106. What is the result of the quantitative risk analysis process? A. List of prioritized risks. B. A probability and impact matrix. C. Numerical information about the effect of risks on project objectives. D. A risk breakdown structure. Correct answer C. Numerical information about the effect of risks on project objectives. Explanation. The result of quantitative risk analysis is numerical information that provides insight into the potential effect of identified risks on the project's objectives, helping in decision making and risk response planning. Question 107. What is the primary benefit of performing a project benefit analysis during the initial phase of the project? A. To ensure that the project is completed on time and within budget. B. To determine how the project will deliver value to the organization and its stakeholders. C. To define the project scope and objectives. D. To identify potential risks and develop response strategies. Correct answer B. To determine how the project will deliver value to the organization and its stakeholders. Explanation. Performing a project benefit analysis during the initial phase helps determine how the project will deliver value, justifying the investment and ensuring alignment with organizational goals and stakeholder needs. Question 108. What is the purpose of the control limits in a control chart within the control quality process? A. To indicate the budget limits for the project. B. To show the acceptable range of variation for a process. C. To delineate the project schedule milestones. D. To highlight the critical path in the project schedule. Correct answer: B. To show the acceptable range of variation for a process. Explanation: control limits in a control chart define the acceptable range of variation for a process. Points outside these limits indicate that the process may be out of control and requires investigation. Question 109. In project management, what does a lead allow in a schedule? Well, a delay in a successor activity. B. An acceleration of a successor activity. C. An extension of the project duration. D. Additional resources to be allocated to activities. Correct answer: B. An acceleration of a successor activity. Explanation: a lead allows a successor activity to start before its predecessor has fully completed, effectively accelerating the successor activity in the schedule. Question 110. What is the primary purpose of the Collect Lessons Learned process? To document the successful strategies used in the project. B. To record the challenges and issues faced during the project. C. To provide valuable insights for future projects. D. To evaluate team member performance. Correct answer: C. To provide valuable insights for future projects. Explanation: the primary purpose of collecting lessons learned is to document the experiences, both positive and negative, throughout the project to provide valuable insights and knowledge that can be applied to future projects, improving processes and outcomes. Question 111. Which document describes how project requirements will be analyzed, documented, and managed? A scope management plan. B. Requirements management plan. C. Project scope statement. D. Project management plan. Correct answer: B. Requirements management plan. Explanation: the requirements management plan is a component of the project management plan that describes how project requirements will be analyzed, documented, and managed throughout the project. Question 112. What is the purpose of the project communications management plan? To define how the project scope will be verified and controlled. B. To outline how project information will be distributed and communicated. C. To describe the project's cost management procedures. D. To detail the project's risk response strategies. Correct answer: B. To outline how project information will be distributed and communicated. Explanation: the project communications management plan defines how, when, and by whom information about the project will be administered and disseminated, ensuring that all stakeholders receive the necessary information in a timely manner. Question 113. In which process would you utilize the earned value analysis technique? A. Plan cost management. B. Estimate costs. C. Control costs. D. Determine budget. Correct answer: C. Control costs. Explanation: earned value analysis is utilized in the control costs process to measure project performance against the cost baseline, helping to forecast future cost performance and identify any variances that may need corrective action. Question 114. What does the term procurement statement of work refer to? The document that initiates the procurement process. B. The agreement between the buyer and seller. C. The description of products, services, or results to be purchased. D. The plan for how procurement will be managed. Correct answer: C. The description of products, services, or results to be purchased. Explanation: the procurement statement of work is a detailed description of the products, services, or results that a project requires from external vendors, which forms the basis for developing and issuing procurement documents. Question 115. What is the primary goal of the planned stakeholder engagement process? A. To identify all project stakeholders. B. To manage stakeholder expectations through negotiation. C. To develop strategies to effectively engage stakeholders. D. To communicate project information to stakeholders. Correct answer. C. To develop strategies to effectively engage stakeholders. Explanation. The primary goal of the planned stakeholder engagement process is to develop approaches and plans for engaging stakeholders, ensuring their expectations and interests are addressed and their impact on the project is understood and managed. Question 116. Which tool or technique is commonly used in the defined scope process to generate different approaches to execute and perform the work of the project? A. Brainstorming. B. Product analysis. C. Expert judgment. D. Facilitation. Correct answer. A brainstorming. Explanation. Brainstorming is used in the defined scope process to creatively generate different approaches and ideas for executing the project work, encouraging team collaboration and innovative thinking. Question 117. What is the primary purpose of the risk register? A. To document the project's risk management policies and procedures. B. To outline the project's approach to managing risk. C. To track identified risks, their responses, and the status of each. D. To define the project's risk tolerance levels. Correct answer. C. To track identified risks, their responses, and the status of each. Explanation. The risk register is a key document in risk management that tracks all identified risks, their analysis, response plans, and the current status of each risk, serving as a central repository for managing project risks. Question 118. In project management, what is a work package? A document that authorizes the project. B. The highest level of the work breakdown structure. C. A deliverable at the lowest level of the work breakdown structure. D. A comprehensive outline of the project's objectives. Correct answer. C. A deliverable at the lowest level of the work breakdown structure. Explanation. A work package is a deliverable or group of related tasks at the lowest level of the work breakdown structure WBS, providing a basis for further planning, execution, monitoring, and control. Question 119. What is the primary benefit of developing a project charter? A. To formally authorize the project and grant authority to the project manager. B. To define the detailed project scope. C. To identify and assess project risks. D. To establish the project team and assign resources. Correct answer. To formally authorize the project and grant authority to the project manager. Explanation. The primary benefit of the project charter is to formally authorize the existence of the project and grant the project manager the authority to allocate organizational resources to project activities. Question 120. What is the significance of the critical path in project management? It represents the shortest path through the project, indicating the minimum project duration. B. It includes all the tasks that are vital to project success, regardless of duration. C. It represents the sequence of activities that determine the longest path through the project, defining its duration. D. It is the path with the most risks and uncertainties. Correct answer. C. It represents the sequence of activities that determine the longest path through the project, defining its duration. Explanation. The critical path is the sequence of project activities that adds up to the longest overall duration, determining the shortest time possible to complete the project. Any delay in critical path activities directly impacts the project finish date. Question 121. Which process involves reviewing offers, choosing among potential sellers, and negotiating a written contract? A plan procurement management. B. Conduct procurements. C. Control procurements. D. Close procurements. Correct answer B. Conduct procurements. Explanation: the conduct procurements process involves receiving bids or proposals, selecting a seller, and awarding a contract, which includes reviewing offers, choosing among potential sellers, and negotiating the contract terms. Question 122. What is the purpose of using a milestone chart in project management? A. To display a detailed breakdown of project tasks and activities. B. To track the project budget and expenses. C. To show significant points or events in the project timeline. D. To illustrate the project team's organizational structure. Correct answer. C. To show significant points or events in the project timeline. Explanation: a milestone chart is used in project management to depict significant points or events along the project timeline, providing a high level overview of key project milestones and their scheduled dates. Question 123. What is the function of the plus delta technique in a project review meeting? A. To calculate the project's cost performance index. B. To identify what should be continued and what should be changed in project processes. C. To estimate the project's schedule variance. D. To determine the risk impact on project objectives. Correct answer B. To identify what should be continued and what should be changed in project processes. Explanation: the plus delta technique in a project review meeting is used to discuss and document what is working well plus and what needs to change delta in the project's processes and execution. Question 124. In project management, what does a resource leveling technique help to address? A. Overallocation of resources. B. The critical path lengthening. C. Decreasing project risks. D. Improving team communication. Correct answer: a overallocation of resources. Explanation: resource leveling is a technique used to address the overallocation of resources by adjusting the project schedule, ensuring that resources are not overextended across concurrent tasks or phases. Question 125. Which quality management tool helps in categorizing potential causes of defects into groups for identification and further analysis? A Pareto chart. B. Histogram. C. Ishikawa diagram. D. Scatter diagram. Correct answer: C. Ishikawa diagram. Explanation: the Ishikawa diagram or fishbone diagram helps in categorizing potential causes of defects into various groups, such as materials, methods, personnel for easier identification and analysis. Question 126. What does the term fast tracking refer to in project schedule management? A. Reducing the project duration by cutting down on project scope. B. Increasing the project budget to speed up activities. C. Executing project activities in parallel that were originally planned in sequence. D. Hiring more resources to work on project tasks. Correct answer: C. Executing project activities in parallel that were originally planned in sequence. Explanation: fast tracking in project schedule management refers to the technique of executing activities in parallel that were initially planned to be done sequentially with the goal of shortening the project timeline without reducing the scope. Question 127. What is the key benefit of performing a stakeholder analysis in project management? A. To determine the project budget based on stakeholder requirements. B. To understand stakeholders' interests, influence, and potential impact on the project. C. To create a detailed project scope statement. D. To develop a comprehensive risk management plan. Correct answer. B. To understand stakeholders' interests, influence, and potential impact on the project. Explanation. The key benefit of performing a stakeholder analysis is to identify and understand stakeholders' interests, levels of influence, and potential impact on the project, which helps in developing effective engagement strategies. Question 128. What is the primary goal of the control communications process? A. To ensure that all communications are archived for project documentation. B. To ensure that the project's information needs are met. C. To develop the project's communications management plan. D. To distribute project information according to the project plan. Correct answer. B. To ensure that the project's information needs are met. Explanation. The primary goal of the control communications process is to ensure that the project's information needs are met, which involves monitoring and controlling communications throughout the project to ensure that all stakeholders receive the necessary information in a timely and effective manner. Question 129. In what phase of the project life cycle are project objectives established and the feasibility of achieving them assessed? A. Initiating. B. Planning. C. Executing. D. Closing. Correct answer at initiating. Explanation. In the initiating phase of the project life cycle, project objectives are established and their feasibility is assessed to ensure that the project is aligned with business goals and can be successfully completed. Question 130. Which tool or technique is particularly useful in the plan quality management process for identifying which factors will have the most significant impact on overall project quality? A. Control charts. B. Benchmarking. C. Cost benefit analysis. D. Pareto charts. Correct answer, D. Pareto charts. Explanation. Pareto charts are useful in the plan quality management process as they help in identifying the vital few factors that will have the most significant impact on overall project quality, following the Pareto principle that a small number of causes often lead to a majority of the problems. Question 131. What does a lag in a project schedule indicate? A. Time period by which a successor activity is accelerated. B. An amount of time that must pass before a successor activity can begin. C. A duration during which project resources are idle. D. The total amount of time a project task can be delayed without affecting subsequent tasks. Correct answer. B. An amount of time that must pass before a successor activity can begin. Explanation. A lag in a project schedule indicates a waiting period required between two activities, where a certain amount of time must pass after the completion of one activity before the next activity can begin. Question 132. What is the main focus of the control resources process? A. Identifying the required resources for the project. B. Ensuring the project team is well motivated and cohesive. C. Monitoring resource usage and optimizing resource allocation. D. Acquiring the necessary team members and physical resources for the project. Correct answer. C. Monitoring resource usage and optimizing resource allocation. Explanation. The control resources process focuses on overseeing resource usage, ensuring resources are allocated and utilized efficiently throughout the project's lifecycle, and making adjustments as necessary to optimize resource allocation. Question 133. Which document defines the approach to identify, prioritize, and manage project risks? A risk management plan. B. Risk register. C. Project management plan. D. Stakeholder engagement plan. Correct answer, a risk management plan. Explanation. The risk management plan is the document that outlines the approach to identify, analyze, prioritize, and respond to project risks, defining how risk management activities will be conducted throughout the project. Question 134. In which process would you typically develop a project schedule network diagram? Define activities. B. Sequence activities. C. Develop schedule. D. Plan schedule management. Correct answer, B. Sequence activities. Explanation. The sequence activities process involves identifying and documenting the relationships among project activities, which typically results in the development of a project schedule network diagram to illustrate these relationships. Question 135. What is the purpose of performing a variance analysis in project management? To compare actual project performance against the project management plan. B. To determine the project's cost performance index CPI. C. To develop a baseline for measuring project performance. D. To allocate the project budget across different work packages. Correct answer, A. To compare actual project performance against the project management plan. Explanation. Variance analysis is a technique used to compare actual project performance against planned performance, identifying deviations and their causes, and taking corrective actions as necessary. Question 136. Which term describes an uncertain event or condition that could have a negative effect on project objectives? Assumption. B. Constraint. C. Risk. D. Issue. Correct answer, C. Risk. Explanation. In project management, a risk refers to an uncertain event or condition that, if it occurs, could have a positive or negative effect on one or more project objectives. Question 137. What is the main objective of the planned human resource management process? A. To assign project tasks to team members. B. To track team member performance. C. To identify and document project roles, responsibilities, and relationships. D. To improve team members' skills and competencies. Correct answer, C. To identify and document project roles, responsibilities, and relationships. Explanation. The planned human resource management process aims to identify and document project roles, responsibilities, required skills, reporting relationships, and create a staffing management plan to optimize project team performance. Question 138. Which type of diagram is used in the sequence activities process to illustrate the logical relationships between project activities? A Gantt chart. B. Flowchart. C. Network diagram. D. Bar chart. Correct answer, C. Network diagram. Explanation. In the sequence activities process, a network diagram is used to illustrate the logical relationships between project activities, showing how each activity is connected and the sequence in which they need to be performed. Question 139. What is the main objective of the control stakeholder engagement process? A. To identify new stakeholders throughout the project's lifecycle. B. To ensure stakeholder engagement strategies are effective and stakeholders' expectations are met. C. To develop strategies for improving stakeholder relationships. D. To document stakeholder feedback and communications. Correct answer, B. To ensure stakeholder engagement strategies are effective and stakeholders' expectations are met. Explanation: the main objective of the control stakeholder engagement process is to monitor and control stakeholder relationships, ensuring that engagement strategies are effective and stakeholders' expectations and needs are being met throughout the project lifecycle. Question 140. Which technique is used in the estimate costs process to provide a high-level view of project costs based on historical data from similar projects? A parametric estimating. B. Bottom-up estimating. C. Analogous estimating. D. Three-point estimating. Correct answer: C. Analogous estimating. Explanation: analogous estimating is used in the estimate cost process to provide a quick and often less accurate estimate based on historical data from similar projects, offering a high-level view of project costs. Question 141. In project management, what does the term variance refer to? A. The process of aggregating the estimated costs of individual activities to establish a baseline. B. The sequencing of project activities or tasks. C. The difference between planned and actual performance. D. The level of uncertainty in achieving project objectives. Correct answer: C. The difference between planned and actual performance. Explanation: variance in project management refers to the quantifiable difference between a planned and actual aspect of project performance, such as cost, time, or scope, indicating whether performance is within acceptable thresholds. Question 142. What is the primary outcome of the Identify Risks process? A risk management plan. B. Risk register. C. Qualitative risk analysis. D. Risk response plan. Correct answer: B. Risk register. Explanation: the primary outcome of the Identify Risks process is the risk register, which documents all identified risks along with their characteristics and serves as a foundational tool for further risk analysis and response planning. Question 143. What is the purpose of the checklist analysis technique in risk management? A. To determine the probability and impact of risks. B. To document the responses to risks. C. To identify risks based on historical data and knowledge. D. To quantify the effect of risks on project objectives. Correct answer: C. To identify risks based on historical data and knowledge. Explanation: checklist analysis in risk management is used to identify potential risks by referencing a list of common risk items, which is often based on historical data, lessons learned, and expert knowledge to ensure a comprehensive risk identification process. Question 144. What role does the decomposition technique play in the Create WBS process? A. It helps to estimate project costs. B. It breaks down project deliverables into smaller, more manageable components. C. It identifies the critical path of the project. D. It assigns responsibilities to team members. Correct answer: B. It breaks down project deliverables into smaller, more manageable components. Explanation: decomposition in the Create WBS process involves breaking down project deliverables and work into smaller, more manageable components, facilitating better organization, planning, and control of the project work. Question 145. What is the significance of the To Complete Performance Index TCPI in project management? A. It indicates the cost performance that must be achieved with the remaining resources to meet a specific management goal. B. It measures the project's progress to date. C. It predicts the project's future performance based on past data. D. It determines the feasibility of the project schedule. Correct answer. It indicates the cost performance that must be achieved with the remaining resources to meet a specific management goal. Explanation. The TCPI is a measure used in project management to calculate the cost performance efficiency that must be achieved on the remaining work to meet a specific financial goal, such as the budget at completion back or the estimate at completion eke. Question 146. What is the primary purpose of the Perform Quality Assurance process? To inspect the project deliverables to ensure they meet the quality standards. B. To integrate quality standards into the project design and development processes. C. To identify quality requirements for the project deliverables. D. To update the quality management plan based on performance. Correct answer. B. To integrate quality standards into the project design and development processes. Explanation. The primary purpose of the Perform Quality Assurance process is to ensure that the quality standards and operational definitions are integrated into the project design and development processes, thereby improving confidence that the project will satisfy the relevant quality standards. Question 147. What is the main outcome of the sequence activities process? A list of project milestones. B. A network diagram illustrating the logical relationships between activities. C. A Gantt chart showing the project schedule. D. The project calendar indicating working days and shifts. Correct answer. B. A network diagram illustrating the logical relationships between activities. Explanation. The main outcome of the sequence activities process is a network diagram which illustrates the logical relationships and dependencies between the various project activities, helping in the development of the project schedule. Question 148. In the context of project communication, what does the term encoding refer to? The medium or method used to send a message. B. The breakdown of communication into smaller parts. C. The process of translating thoughts or ideas into a language that is understood by others. D. The timing of when a message is sent. Correct answer. C. The process of translating thoughts or ideas into a language that is understood by others. Explanation. In communication, encoding refers to the process of converting thoughts or ideas into a language or symbols that can be understood by others, which is crucial for effective communication and ensuring the intended message is accurately conveyed. Question 149. What does a change request typically include in project management? A detailed project schedule. B. A request for additional resources or time, modifications to documents, or adjustments to baselines. C. The project budget at completion. D. A list of new stakeholders. Correct answer. B. A request for additional resources or time, modifications to documents, or adjustments to baselines. Explanation. A change request in project management is a formal proposal to modify any aspect of the project, which could include requests for additional time or resources, modifications to project documents, or adjustments to performance or scope baselines. Question 150. What is the primary goal of the Manage Project Knowledge process? To ensure all project documents are archived properly. B. To leverage knowledge from historical data and project experiences to enhance outcomes. C. To train project team members on knowledge management tools. D. To conduct performance appraisals of project team members. Correct answer. B. To leverage knowledge from historical data and project experiences to enhance outcomes. Explanation. The Manage Project Knowledge process aims to use knowledge gained from current and past projects to improve decision making and performance, capturing, sharing, and utilizing knowledge to enhance project outcomes. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more practice questions.